Good morning. Welcome to Diane's Kitchen. We have a very interesting guest today, a guest that's going to tell you things that you need to know, pertinent things about guns. First of all, we would like to thank our main sponsor, which is the Body Shop Fitness Center, both in Shell Lake and Spooner. And yes, they are the ones that, oddly enough, have got a fantastic ice cream and snack wagon outside of the Shell Lake facility. It's wonderful. Stuffed pretzels, hamburgers, hot dogs, ice cream that will be addicting to you. So stop in and see them. Several weeks ago, I saw a headline that said that gun permit applications are up by 500%. That is a lot. So, of course, I looked for an expert in the field, and I came across George. I've just got to say, he doesn't put an E on his last name. Georg, and his last name you can pronounce either the French way, which would be LaBonte, or LaBonte. So, George without an E, either way, LaBonte, comes from Fireline. It's down in Rice Lake, and it's a shooting range and a training range and a gun shop. This is why he's on today. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm one of the owners at Fireline. It's a family-run business. We have two locations now, one in Rice Lake, and we have one in Appleton out by the Green Bay area.
Okay, wait. Tell us where it is in Rice Lake for people who want to
In Rice Lake, we're in the, I guess what's now the Hobby Lobby area.
I was going to ask you.
I was going to say next to Office Max, but they're not there anymore, unfortunately. So, yeah, we're in that strip mall that
the Hobby Lobby.
It used to be the Fashion Bug, I believe, years ago, dating myself here.
That's all right. I used to shop at the Fashion Bug. So it's really in the Hobby Lobby shopping center.
It's in that shopping center there, yep.
Okay. Now, where are you from originally?
Originally, I'm from Florida. I was born in Fort Lauderdale. We moved up here when I was around 9 or 10, in third grade, I believe.
Okay.
So,
has your family always been familiar with and comfortable with guns and firearms?
Yeah, I mean, my parents were actually born down in East Troy, Milwaukee area. So they're Wisconsin natives.
Yeah.
We moved to Florida for work reasons and stuff, and that's where they started their family of the three of us. And then they decided they wanted to come back home. So, we came back to Wisconsin, like I said, when I was around 9 or 10.
Okay. When did you open Fireline? Do you remember?
We opened Fireline. We had our soft opening right around Christmas in 2014. And our grand opening was 2015. And then a year later, we opened up the Appleton location. So we've been in town for about 5 years now.
Okay. Does it surprise you that applications are up 500%?
I'm going to debunk that 500% a little bit.
Good.
That I did find that article, and that was one gun shop in Illinois, which is kind of an outlier in the whole gun area, and they have to get what's called their FOID card just to even go into a gun store and look at guns.
Okay.
So they have a lot more people that apply for permits, as they call them in their state, just because they need to even if they don't end up buying one, they need to get a card just to have the opportunity to buy one.
Oh.
What we kind of look at for what gun sales are really out are the NICS checks, how many background checks have been run nationally.
Oh, sure. That's more accurate.
It doesn't really tell you how many guns have sold, but it gives you an indication of how many different people are trying to get a background check run on them for the purpose of buying a gun. And those are up around maybe 30 to 40%, which is still...
Yeah, but that doesn't make such a hot headline, though.
It doesn't. That's
500%.
500, I've seen 300, I've seen lots of different numbers.
We'll go with 5 for the headline.
But that's kind of a more accurate indicator, and that's kind of more what we're seeing even in our store. Granted, since Trump got in 4 years ago, the market kind of went...
For guns?
For guns. We had Remington, one of the oldest, largest gun manufacturers, declare bankruptcy.
Oh, that's right.
We had 2 gun distributors, 2 of the biggest gun distributors for our suppliers. They declared bankruptcy and went out of business, so they're gone. So we lost a lot because during the Obama administration, they all ramped up production. They're like, this anti-gun sentiment, this is going to keep pushing, people are fearful that their guns are going to get taken away. So they ramped up production because they thought that was the future. And then that surprise happened, and it's like no one thought Trump was going to win. Even the gun industry didn't think Trump was going to win.
I don't think Trump thought he was going to win.
No, I don't think he did either. So they all got surprised, and they had all overproduced, overbought, overcommitted.
Oops.
And it led to multiple bankruptcies in the last 4 years, which has caused almost a 60% decline in the gun industry during the last 4 years. So
that's crazy.
You look at the headlines, and it's up. I look at it, I'm like, yes, we finally recovered.
Yeah.
So,
but you're more accurate.
It's a little different depending on which side of the fence you're on. Yeah.
Sure.
Gun sales themselves are a lot higher than they've ever been. Accessories-wise and stuff like that, we don't see a lot of people purchasing because a lot of this purchasing is, we have the COVID going on. We have, there's protests ravaging, certain cities, and there's a lot of fear getting built up, and a lot of people are going, I don't know if I can trust.
I know.
I don't know who to look for now to protect my family. So people are going to get a gun, but they're not necessarily doing the training. They're not getting the accessories. They're not getting holsters. They're not getting, they're just doing the first step. They're getting the gun. So hopefully people, now that they've had some time to realize this decision they've made, oh no, I have a gun in my home now, and I've never shot a gun before, and now I have one. What am I supposed to do? I mean, that's kind of what sets Fireline a little bit apart from a lot of the other gun shops out there. I mean, not quite anymore, but you used to be able to go to Walmart, buy a handgun.
Yeah.
But they stopped selling handguns, I believe. What is it? Some of the other sporting goods stores, I think Dick's Sporting Goods have dropped ARs, and other major retailers have just dropped a lot of the...
Well, who needs an AR? I mean, my gracious. What are you planning on shooting?
So...
Tell us about Fireline. What do you do? What do you offer?
So the difference that sets us a little bit apart from just going to a store and buying a gun is that after you've made that purchase, you can come back to us. We have a rental pool, so you could try different guns before you actually decide which one you want to buy.
Where do you try them?
Right in our range. So we have 2 bays, so we can have training going on while people are still shooting on the other bay. They're 25 feet long, or 25 yards long, 75 feet long. So handguns, more than enough range to practice on. We do allow rifles. People come in around hunting time to sight in the rifles, where it's warm and cozy, and they don't have to worry. You follow your little manual on your scope, set it to 25 yards, and usually, depending on the scope you have set up, if you can hit it 25 yards, it's going to hit it 100 yards. Because it slowly rises as it gets there, and then it drops. The bullet rises a little bit and then drops. So presumably it hits at 25 yards at the same spot it's going to hit at 100 yards.
So somebody can come in and try out.
Yep.
Trying on shoes. So
we got about 100 or so rental guns available for people to try out. It's looking a little bit thinner because of the craze. We've sold some of our rental guns because people were that in need and that desirous. I'm like, all right, well, we'll start. We don't have ammo anyways. So right now, it's a little tough to rent, but because ammo is such a struggle to get for everywhere, and the online guys are gouging, so don't buy your ammo online. Wait till we get it in stock.
When will you get it in stock? Is it going to trickle in like toilet paper did? Or?
It is. It's trickling in, and I don't think it's going to get better, unfortunately, because we are also in an election year. So I don't think
maybe it's a good thing that we don't have ammo in an election year.
Yeah, maybe.
You can just throw your gun at everybody.
Use it as a club.
Yeah, right. Worst come to worst, it's still a weapon.
Some of the self-defense ammo isn't as sold out just because it is so much more expensive, and people aren't practicing with self-defense ammo because, again, it's so expensive. You're paying $1 or $2 a round instead of. It used to be 17 cents a round. Now, no one's going to shoot $1 a round. It's just too expensive to practice.
Like a $5 cigar. Who in the world was going to smoke that?
So, yeah, and then we offer training. So
excellent. This is what worries me. I have several neighbors, older ladies, older single ladies who are buying guns. And it really makes me nervous because I don't know how much training they've got. And I'm thinking, boy, these people really need to at least go and fire it a few times to see how it works.
Yeah, that's usually very prudent. I mean,
What kind of training do you do?
we start off with our basic training. For someone who's never handled a firearm before, you come in, you don't have to have a gun, you don't have to know anything about guns. I mean, we allow kids, young adults to come in.
From age?
There's really no requirement. We just like it to be, they have to, I don't want to say look old enough, but be capable of handling and carrying a handgun, at least be able to operate, a 22, because that's what we train on in the basic class. We're just using 22s.
Sure.
We use our 22s from our rental pool. If they can operate it, hold it up for, enough time to, we don't see it dropping, after they're holding it up for a little while. As long as the parents think they're strong enough, and the parents are also in the class, we'll let, I think 7 to 8 is usually a good cutoff.
Do you know how old they have to be for the hunter safety class?
I think hunter safety is 12.
Okay.
It's going years back, trying to remember. We've tried to get into hunter safety because we wanted to offer it, but
yeah,
it's too much coordination with the DNR and too much red tape that it's a process to try to get, because we wanted to offer it for free, and we're still looking. I mean, if there's any instructors out there that are looking for a facility that want to teach hunter safety in one of our classrooms, reach out to us, contact us, and we'd be more than happy to try to work something out if you want to do some hunter safety.
What's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Emailing our administrative office at admin@firelinestc.com would be the best place.
Admin, ADMIN?
ADMIN. Yep, at firelinestc, samtangocharlie.com.
Well, la-di-da, Sam Tango Charlie. Okay, what have you got? What information do you have that you want to bring and let people know what you do, why they should do it?
Well, beyond the basics, I mean, it's good to take a basic course if you've ever handled a firearm. But beyond that, if you already have a firearm, we have an intro class. It's 3 hours long. You bring in your own gun, bring in your own ammo if you can find it. But you get to bring in your own gun, and you get to learn on your own gun. So we go on the range, you shoot on your gun. We give you tips, pointers on how to shoot more accurately, how to be a little more proficient in it, how to take it apart, how to clean it. So if you're a brand new gun owner and you went out and you were like, you know what, I need a gun. I feel like I need to have a firearm in the home to protect my family if anything happens.
Right.
I mean, unemployment's at, 26% last I heard?
Now, are you sure that's 26%?
That's the headline I read anyways.
Yeah, probably right under the one I read.
So, there's still a lot of people fearful that, there's 26 people that are employed. Where are they getting income from? What are they going to do?
And some people are just scared silly.
So people are buying these firearms and they're not getting the training. They need to at least have the basic understanding. So our intro class is great for that.
Good.
Otherwise, for the more proficient shooters that, have shot firearms for a long time and just want to get better, more accurate, because my background is also, I'm an attorney. Don't hold it against me.
I was just going to say, that's very interesting.
So we teach, our concealed carry. Every so often I will do a self-defense law seminar at Fireline that's completely free, but it kind of goes through the laws of Wisconsin as it pertains to using your self-defense firearm and the legal ramifications of that.
Good to know.
One of the big things we always stress, even in our concealed carry classes, is that if you're out in public, you're at a restaurant or something, or wherever, you're at a gas station late at night, and something goes down and you need to use your defensive firearm, you're responsible for everywhere one of those shots go, regardless of what happens, So if you're in a major firefight and you accidentally shoot someone that you're not supposed to, you're going to jail. There's no way around it. So people that get their firearms and are thinking, oh, I have the gun, I'm safe now. If you don't know how to use it, you could end up causing more damage.
So when you
And
pull that thing out of the holster, you are
you're responsible for everything that happens.
every one of those bullets go.
Yep. So I hate talking about tragedies, but
Oh, well,
that
yeah, it's a gun.
it's far enough away. The incident in Texas, I want to say last year, where the pastor shot the armed gunman with
Oh, yes.
one clean shot, but it was in a room full of people.
Yeah.
If he had hit anyone else in that church, he would be going to jail. I mean, that's just the way our laws work. So when you look at that, I'm pretty confident he had ample training because he was able to do what he did and he saved a lot of people. But if you're not able to do something like that, you probably shouldn't draw your firearm and use it.
I think the scary thing about that was like 6 or 9 people that were at church also stood up with their guns on it. Yeah, that's Texas.
That's Texas.
I agree. I think that the responsibility needs to be emphasized and emphasized and emphasized.
Yep.
My husband let me shoot. He said, "You want to shoot my guy?" I said, "No, not really." It was a law enforcement, and it was a Glock. And there's this great big wood pile. He said, "Just shoot at the wood pile." Well, I missed the wood pile, hit my aunt and uncle's mobile home, went through the bathroom wall, through the bathroom door, through the bathroom mirror, and lodged in the front door. I mean, the pile, the wood, it missed it all. So it's amazing what serious damage you can do, maybe in a moment of panic.
Yeah, and when you're in a moment of panic, your heart
Yes.
rate's racing, your adrenaline's just shaking, your nerves are a wreck. So we try to, we have these blue guns, we call them, because they're plastic guns that are completely filled blue plastic. But, they're designed to look like a Glock or look like whatever gun. And we use those in our training rooms just so we can swing guns around in the classroom without
Killing somebody.
swinging a gun around in the classroom,
Yeah, right.
But a lot of times when I'm teaching like our concealed carry class, I will draw one of those out and I'll be like, all right, so when you're on the range, you're perfectly solid grip. It's easy. Anyone can hit a piece of paper in a range. You sit in the range long enough, you're going to be able to hit a piece of paper. It's not hard. But you get an emotional situation where now all of a sudden you're just going, you're doing this and your gun's all over the place.
Yeah.
And now you're expected to shoot as well.
Oh, yeah.
So if you can't consistently hit the paper in calm situations, trying to hit
In full panic?
in full panic mode,
gonna work.
you're going to be like this. And it's not going to work. So in order to get past that, in order to become proficient, it's just like anything else you do in life. You have to practice. You have to build that muscle memory. It's just like anything else. I mean, you ride a bike as a kid enough times that you don't ride a bike for 10 years, as an adult, and you're
right.
finally like, oh, I got kids now, let's ride bikes. You jump back on the bike, you know how to do it. It's the same thing with a gun. You practice with a gun long enough and enough times, just to be proficient with it,
Well, that makes sense.
and you're going to retain that.
Sure you are.
So when that situation does arise,
If
you
ever.
don't have to think about it. Your muscle memory is just going to take over. So
Classes are important.
classes are very important, and just getting to the range is important, which is why we offer our membership program, so people can come in. As long as we're open, you can come in, use the range as many times as you want.
What a great idea.
And we've, after 5 years of massaging our membership program, we've pretty much got it down to, if you come in once a month, the membership pays for itself.
Good.
So it works out to be about $24 a month,
Cheap enough.
and we charge $20 if you just walk in. So for $4 more, I mean, you get
I agree.
You get 5% off everything ammo and accessories in the store when we have ammo. But you get discounts on training courses as well with this membership. So it's a good way to go if you want to get in and you want to be
serious
proficient.
about
If you're
owning
serious
a gun.
about, if you're just buying a gun and you're going to carry it around, please don't. Put it in your nightstand and use it if you need to. But if you're not going to train with your firearm, please don't carry it around.
Exactly. I was so impressed with the products that you carry. Guns. All different sizes.
Yep. It's a little thin right now. It's probably thin
yeah.
when you came in, if you
Yeah.
came in a couple weeks ago. We are getting in It trickles in. It kind of goes in waves. Glock's been actually one of our more easily accessible. I think they ramped up production quickly enough that we keep getting Glocks in every couple weeks.
I see you carry is it the Henry?
We do. We Henry, local company now. They don't produce the brass receivered Golden Boys here in Rice Lake.
Oh, well.
But any of the blued, the traditional black-looking receivers will all be stamped Rice Lake, Wisconsin on them.
How cool
as where
is
they're
that?
manufactured. So we actually partnered with them our first year open to do custom serialized Henrys. So it's not quite the same as getting an engraved Henry, which they also do, where you can get, special messages and stuff engraved on the side of your firearm that you give away as a gift. But
Oh, not notches.
no,
How many people yeah. Sorry.
But they did a custom serial number. So instead of getting, serial number H04781123, I got a Golden Boy for my daughter, just as because she was born that year that we did that.
Oh,
that was
cool.
just Elise 2015. So the serial number on the gun is Elise 2015, and when she's old enough, she'll finally get it. But so a lot of people came in, especially since it's Henry, they're local. If you got a brass receiver one, you could put whatever custom number you wanted on it, and it will say Rice Lake, Wisconsin on it, which was pretty cool. Now they do that on demand, so you can get a custom serialized Henry any day of the week you want, because that program actually did so well up here. We were very happy with the turnout and very grateful with Henry for letting us do that with them first year. So
No kidding.
Henry also has a membership with us, so they come in. So we get to sometimes have a sneak peek at some of the stuff they're working on.
That's great.
Which is pretty nice.
That's
We
great.
like those guys. They're good people.
And you've got a full complement of accessories also.
We do. We have everything from holsters, slings, AR accessories. What's really trending right now are carry firearms with what's called modular optic sights or optics ready cutouts on them. So the back of the slide has a little notch on it where you can mount a red dot, which isn't a laser. Some people hear red dot and they think, it puts a red dot. It's a little glass window that you look through that has a projected red dot through it. So it's basically like looking through the lens of your glasses, with a little red dot that kind of moves around in it. And all you do is present your firearm, look through the little window, and wherever that red dot is, as long as you see it and it's on your target, that's where you're going to hit. So instead of trying to align, a front sight with your rear sight with your front sight, all you have to do is look through a little glass window and be like, I'm on target.
That's really cool.
So it allows you to present, look through the window, get your red dot on your target, and immediately start firing if you need to. Some people say it hurts your normal shooting with your regular sights, but it doesn't. It actually speeds up every element of the shooting process.
Yeah.
It's a little pricey to get into. I mean, they start at like $250 up to like $700 for the really robust ones that you could bang on the table and they're not going to break your glass or break your optic. So there are price levels for everyone. Vortex is a good starting one because they're another, I believe, I think they're Wisconsin-based company. But Vortex Optics, if you hunt, Vortex. Their scopes, they have a lifetime warranty. You break it, they send you a new one, no questions asked. Same's true for their red dots. They're in the $200-$300 range. But if something happens to it, if you drop your gun and it lands on the optic and breaks, they'll send you a new one. So it's a good way to get in.
Yeah, and I would think that the cost would be cheap compared to doing 5 to life. For killing somebody.
It really, and in the situations where you're panicked and you're rushed, it's gonna greatly improve your accuracy.
Exactly.
Especially if you practice with it.
Yeah.
So practice is still key. It's not like it's a cheating element that you can just put one of these on and you don't have to worry about training.
Slam away, right.
You still need to train.
I agree.
But it's becoming such a popular option now because technology in the firearms industry has come so far now that they're making firearms a lot smaller, a lot more easily concealed, with still having the option of putting red dots on them.
Good.
So you can get nearly a pocket-sized
So if somebody goes to Fireline in Rice Lake, they can talk to the guys that you've got there who are very knowledgeable
Yep.
and talk everything, guns, ammo, the red dots,
Yep.
training, when to get it. If somebody just Googled Fireline, they would find you, right?
Yep.
Okay. My friend Google.
Google's a good friend. Well,
Yeah.
I have a love-hate relationship with Google because they don't
500%, huh?
they don't let us advertise either. So
Oh,
but,
well, you can
yeah.
see that. What else is on your piece of paper that's important for you to share this morning?
We've kind of pretty much covered everything I had on there. The only other thing I was going to point out that right now, conveniently, during the month of July, we started a promotion. Kind of because of the COVID crisis going on. A lot of people are a little bit apprehensive of going to a class with, even though we limited it to,
Right.
I think we have one person per table in all of our training classrooms. So right now we're at a max of 12 people in a giant, 40-foot long room.
Yeah.
So people are socially distanced during classroom, but people are still apprehensive. But working one-on-one with an instructor, we've seen a slight increase of people wanting to do private instruction, which we also offer. And for July, if you buy 2 lessons, you get the third free. It's usually $75 an hour to get one-on-one, an hour of instructor time. So you can get 3 hours for $150, which is a really good deal because you're going to get one-on-one, 3 hours of instruction, which is going to take you from probably, if you're a beginner, it's going to take you from a beginner almost into the intermediate stage.
Wow.
I'm that confident of our instructors.
Good.
Because there's a lot of basic things that you could probably find on YouTube, even like trigger control. One of the simplest things people don't really understand is that wherever you put your finger on the trigger, so imagine this finger's a trigger. If you put it too far, you're going to end up pulling your gun to the right.
Oh,
if you put too
right.
little on there, you end up pushing it to the left
Oh,
as you pull the
right.
trigger. So, one of the simplest things people can do, and you can try this at home, is, make sure your firearm is unloaded and completely empty, because dry firing, shooting your gun without any ammo in it, is a skill that you can work on at home. You put little marks on your finger, depending on where you've put it on the trigger, and you just click, an empty firearm, and just watch the end of the gun and see if it drifts as you pull the trigger. So you just reload, click, or not reload, but, cycle
Reload.
cycle the firearm, pull the trigger, cycle the firearm, pull the trigger, and see if you're
Sure.
pulling the barrel
Sure.
either to left or right, and then just keep making new marks on your finger, until you find the spot that is keeping it the most horizontally,
And then
stable, and then you practice with that spot on your trigger finger.
there again, muscle memory.
Muscle
This
memory.
is right.
So-
That's really good because you're not shooting anything.
You're not
so
shooting
you don't
anything.
have to worry about where the shell is going.
Yep. And
Just
you're not spending
watch
any
the-
money. You've already bought the gun,
Exactly.
so it's something you can practice at home.
Exactly.
Some of the other tricks that we kind of get into, and I don't want to give away too many secrets, but this
Yeah.
one's pretty, you can, again, find it on Google. We have snap caps that we sell in the store, or dummy rounds that are basically, they look exactly like and feel almost weighted like a real ammunition, but it's inert. It can't shoot. It doesn't do anything. When it gets into the gun, you pull the trigger, it just goes click. Nothing happens. So try not to count, but you load your magazine with, real one, real one, real one, fake one, an inert one, real one, inert one, real one, real one. You load it in, you go to the range, you shoot the first 3 shots, trying to watch your firearm, and then if you pull the trigger and nothing happens, you got to one of the inert ones, but you stop. So if I'm like this, and I'm shooting bang, 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 and I go click, and I look at my hand right after it clicked, and I have the gun pointed down, it means that I'm anticipating the recoil, so I'm pushing
Right.
down as I pull the trigger, which is sending all my shots low.
Sure.
So these are kind of the things that we go through when we watch during these private instruction lessons, and we even watch them in our other courses to say, hey, you're pulling to the right, you're pulling to the left, let's work on your trigger finger. You're shooting high, you're shooting low, let's work on this. And, when you're in one of the group classes, we give everybody one-on-one attention, But if you really want to get proficient quickly, private instruction's the way to go, or one of our shoot camps, which are 8 hours of instruction.
Wow. Lunch included?
They are. We have August is going to, we've announced it. August is going to be our shoot camp month because it's also the National Shooting Sports Foundation. It's gun month for the gun industry.
Well, it's Sugar Cookie Day today, but you didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Okay,
I'm going to have to get me some.
We'll give you August.
But shoot camp, you can either sign up for weekly, which is kind of like a gym boot camp. You come in for an hour twice a week for 4 weeks.
Gotcha.
You get your 8 hours in. We're also doing some condensed ones where it's 4 hours on Saturday, 4 hours on Sunday. You're done in a weekend and you get all the same 8 hours of instruction. It's only $90 for 8 hours of instruction in a group class setting, but you need to know how to shoot a little bit before you come into this class because it is more of a beyond a beginner course. We are going through, you spend one day, or if you're taking the 1 hour a day, you spend one course on your trigger finger, you spend one course on your grip, you spend 1 hour session on, your stance. Each of the fundamentals gets an hour. So it's a really good way to really figure out what you may or may not be doing right or wrong in each of the core fundamentals for properly shooting a handgun. So it's a great course. That one we came out with brand new, I think last year-ish. So it's a new course for us, and it's been filling up. So
that's great.
So sign up now in August. There's a lot of options.
They can sign up now.
It's on our website.
They can just sign up now. Go to Fireline. It's one word, Fireline. Google it.
Yep. So great options. We got tons of courses on there from beginner to advanced on our website. But yeah, just working on those core elements and a lot of stuff you can work on at home too. And we teach you some of those home-based drills that you can run, we call them, because you can, all you're really doing is using an unloaded firearm and hanging a piece of paper on the wall and pretending you're shooting at it. And it really helps though. So there's a lot of things you can learn at Fireline.
Nothing else that'll make your neighbors nervous.
Don't do it in front of a window.
Right. Definitely don't do it in front of a window. We are out of time. Anything else you'd like to add?
Everybody's been saying stay safe out there. So stay safe, but when you're handling a firearm, especially stay safe. Well,
I think it's necessary. I don't know if it's a law, but I think if anybody buys a gun first time, so you pass your background test, I think it would be a great idea if they required X number of hours of training, because you can go to jail for the rest of your life on an accident because you really didn't know, or you got panicked or excited or something. It would be terrible.
It would be.
The consequences.
And we wish, not only because we offer it, but that everybody got training. But unfortunately, not every state requires it. Wisconsin's one of those states that doesn't. But yeah.
So take some personal responsibility.
Exactly. Come in, see us, and we'll help you out.
If you got a gun, if you're going to look for a gun, Fireline Rice Lake is the place to go. So Google them and sign up. You won't be sorry. Besides, if you're old, you'll impress the grandkids. Thank you for watching again today. We want to tell you, too, about Greenfield PT and Sports Medicine, and, of course, our friends, the Lakes team at Edina Realty in Spooner. So until next week, thank you, George, without an E. And we'll see you next week. And remember, like I always say, keep it cooking.